Okay, so I have another proof, and well, we're going to be proving two statements right now. First is, if n is an odd integer, then n squared is an odd integer as well. And the other one is, using the proposition proof above, prove that if a and b are consecutive integers, then a plus b squared is an odd integer. Consecutive meaning a being 1 less than b or 1 greater than b. So hope you guys can do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm gonna assume you guys finished. Let me just move this up a bit. Okay. I'm sorry if I sound a bit tired, because I am. But anyways, enough of that. I guess we'll get started. So, a good way to start is, how I like to do it, is just looking at the statements, because I always find that I always like having my givens right out in front of me. Not for any particular reason, it just looks nice. So if n is an odd integer, so we're gonna have to say, okay, so n is odd. Okay? And n squared is odd. And we'll put the word then, so there's no confusing. So if n is odd, then n squared is odd. That's always a nice thing to put there. Now, what would be a good question to ask when solving this? I'll give you a few seconds to possibly answer this. Okay, so a good way of thinking about this is, well, I always like working back, so I guess we'll start with B1. Now, a good way, actually, well, we might actually start with A1 for this one. A good definition we could do, I should probably say the question first. What makes an integer odd? Now, this seems like a very simple thing to answer. So we can write that down. Let's say question. What makes an integer? And now I'm going really slow. To be honest, it's a pretty easy proof, and if anyone really wants to know why I'm going so slow, it's really just to instill a little method of doing things, being a bit neat and looking at things from very different perspectives. Okay, so sorry about that. Someone just came in, so thought I'd hide the cringe. But anyways, so the answer to this is just say 2k plus 1. K being any integer. So now that we have that, 2k plus 1, then n squared. So we should actually say that's n. Now we're going to have, well, n squared is going to be 2k plus 1 squared, which is going to be 4k cubed plus 4k and plus 1 squared, which is just 1. Now, if you do not know this already, any number that is times by 2 or a multiple 2, so any even integer, it's also going to be even. So, for example, let's say 2, let's factor this out, 2, actually, no, let's not do that. Oh, no, never mind. Okay, well, this is even just because, know what, I'm gonna write it out just for you guys, plus 2k, it's the same thing, plus 1. Okay, so 2 times k squared, that's even, 2k is even, and then times by 2 again, it's even again, and you add 1, that's odd. Okay, so what did we do just there? Well, we found out that if n is odd, which we got this expression from, then n squared is odd, thus completing our proof on that one, which we will write a square or something to indicate the proof is over. Okay, prove that if a and b are consecutive integers, then a plus b squared is an odd integer. Okay, so I guess we'll do what we did before. A, this one is a and b, are consecutive ints for short. Then a plus b squared is odd. Okay, so now that we have that, now we can know what we're going to go by. Okay, so what I can already tell is a and b consecutive integers. It might already throw some people off just when you're getting into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that a equals n minus 1 and b equals n. Okay? Same thing. So now that we have that, we can do, let's start with, I guess we can start with a1, because it seems to work very well. So we can just say that, well, it seems that if we add them together, so maybe I can actually move backwards this time. Sorry, I don't bother looking at my notes. Okay, so if you add a and b together, that's 2n minus 1. Sorry, I'm broke. So, nope, sorry Bandicam. I'm broke. So, we already know this is odd from our last proof. And it's also going to be an odd number. 2n minus 1 is also going to be odd as well. So this means that a plus b is odd. So we can say that by just saying 2n minus 1 is odd. Just simply say as that, so we can put that as b2. Okay, so we're saying that a and b are consecutive integers, therefore a plus b squared is odd. Now I don't really know why I wrote this. I guess I got my mind off track. But this is all we really need to do. All we had to really do was just do really this. So thank you for watching. Yeah. So don't know if barely anyone's going to be watching this, so just starting out on YouTube, man. By the way, I'm probably going to be uploading an actual research assignment I'm doing for class, and I might actually, I thought that would actually be a really cool series, because nobody else is watching my math series, so fuck it. Anyways, hopefully you'll enjoy it, and see you in the next video, hopefully.